Incredible teacher sleeps on floor with baby billionaire discovers life-changing secret. Anna stood in a classroom filled with eager young faces, a colorful world of dreams and struggles. She loved these kids, each with their battles, each fighting against the odds. As a middle school teacher in a small American town, life wasn't easy, but Anna wore hope like a badge of honor. When the bell rang, signaling the end of the day, she made her way back to the tiny, worn-down apartment that she shared with her newborn daughter, Lily. Sometimes, to save money, she would sleep on the floor beside the crib, keeping her baby close. Little Lily brought her joy amidst the uncomfortable reality of their cramped existence. Outside, the community center hummed with activity under the golden rays of a late afternoon sun. Ethan, a tech mogul with deep pockets but shallow roots, strolled through, his mind buzzing with thoughts of investment. He intended to help the struggling town, but he felt as lost here as he did in his glass towers back in the city. That was until he stumbled into Anna's school, where he found her tirelessly working with the students, her eyes bright with determination, her heart full of love. "Look at how she connects with them," he whispered to himself, entranced by her passion. But as he learned of Anna's sacrifices, his heart ached. She juggled lesson plans, student struggles, and being a single mother, all while ensuring that her little girl had enough to eat. It was heartbreaking. The moment she admitted to sleeping on the floor for her daughter's sake, Ethan felt something shift inside him. He began to remember what it felt like to believe in hard work and community. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. As weeks passed, Ethan became deeply involved in advocating for better resources for Anna's classroom. Together, they began planning a community fundraiser, aiming to save her classroom from closure. But doubt lurked just beneath the surface. Town folks whispered about Ethan being an outsider, a rich man trying to play savior. When rumors swirled that he didn't understand their lives, Anna felt it festering around her. The night of the fundraiser arrived, a spark of hope amid uncertainty. Posters colored the walls, cookies and punch lined the tables, and townsfolk filled the room, their eyes twinkling with anticipation. But as Anna stood to speak, a voice rose from the back, skepticism stitched in every syllable. Anna felt her chest tighten. The atmosphere thickened, murmuring spreading like wildfire. Doubts that had been simmering started to boil over. Ethan watched her quiver, uncertainty flickering in her eyes. He knew she had the strength to fight for what was right, but would this community stand with her? Would they embrace their differences and fight for a shared future? As the weight of expectations descended, both Anna and Ethan wrestled with a question that charged the air: how much are they willing to sacrifice to bridge this divide? The night stretched ahead, full of possibilities and tensions, with the future of her classroom hanging in the balance. Anna shifted her weight from one foot to the other, gripping the podium tightly. The murmurs of discontent felt like daggers aimed at her heart. She had prepared everything: her speech, her convictions, the hopes and dreams of each child in that room. But doubt clouded the air, wrapping around her like an unwelcome fog. She could feel Ethan's eyes on her, urging her to push through, but that one voice from the back echoed painfully. "You think you know us? You don't belong here." The voice had yelled, cutting through the thin veneer of camaraderie. Anna's knees shook, but she refused to let them see her fear. She focused on the children instead, their artwork hanging on the walls, the laughter of their innocent joy. They were the reason she fought, the reason she poured herself into every lesson. "Let us listen," she said, her voice strong despite her shaking hands. "This isn't just about me or Ethan. It's about these kids. Every single day they walk through those doors with hopes, with dreams, and maybe yes, fears too. I live that fear every night when I hear them asking if we're having enough pizza for lunch this week." With each word, Anna could feel the tension in the room shift. She looked around, meeting the gaze of several parents and local business owners. She saw nods of understanding, a flicker of recognition as they considered the struggles of their own children. It wasn't just her fight, it was theirs too. Ethan stepped up beside her, his presence grounding. I may seem like an outsider, but I'm here because I believe in what you all believe in our children's future. It requires sacrifice. It requires listening. His dark eyes scanned the crowd, sincerity wrapping every word. But it also demands a community that believes together, one that supports, rather than shuns. Some of the parents shifted uncomfortably, but others began to clap. The sound was soft at first but quickly built momentum. Anna felt a swell of hope. Perhaps they were reaching a turning point. Together, we can change this, Anna urged. Together, we can give our children the tools they need to succeed. I'm asking you to believe in this town, in this school, and in each other. The room began to buzz with chatter as people leaned in closer. Amidst the excitement, Anna noticed a woman with deep-set eyes and hardened features standing alone at the back. Her frown was unyielding, she remained unmoved. Anna's heart sank a bit. What more did they need to convince her? As the applause began to fade, Anna locked eyes with the woman. And I know that some of you might think this is just another rich man trying to swoop in, but Ethan has proven himself ready to listen. Isn't that worth at least a chance? The woman stared back, her face unreadable. Silence enveloped the room once more as if everyone was holding their breath. The atmosphere hummed with anticipation, and Anna could sense the fight gathering at the edge of the crowd, a collective push against the doubts that had sown division, but then a distinct voice broke through. What if he just wants to sell us out? A man stood up, his face flushed with anger. Anna felt the tension tightening once again, like a coiled spring ready to snap. Ethan stepped forward, resolute. If I wanted to sell out, I wouldn't have come here to fight for you all. This is about hope. What would selling out even look like for this community? We need to stand together, not against one another. At that moment, Anna realized that the fight wasn't over yet. They had made progress, but the road ahead was still steep and fraught with challenges. As she glanced around the room, she wondered just how deep-rooted the divide truly was. Was it only about trust, or were there deeper fears lurking beneath the surface? The crowd began to murmur once again, and Anna braced herself for what was to come. Would they take the first step toward change, or would they remain shackled by their past? Tomorrow would be crucial. Tomorrow would reveal if they had the courage to unite for their children's future or if fear would claim victory once more. The following morning dawned gray and heavy, the clouds lingering over the small town like a bad omen. Anna awoke in her modest apartment, the faint sound of rain pattering against the window. It reminded her of how each drop carried the weight of unvoiced fears, much like the stuff swirling around the public meeting the night before. She couldn't shake the image of that stern woman at the back of the room, her unyielding expression haunting Anna's thoughts. What was that woman hiding? What held her back? The same questions that plagued Anna about her own insecurities now spilled over into her mind in waves. After a quick breakfast, she grabbed her bag, heart racing as she'd be facing one of the toughest days yet. They needed to gather momentum and repair the fractures that had cut through the trust of the community. Anna pulled into the school parking lot and took a deep breath, the smell of wet asphalt filling her lungs. Throughout the day, she worked tirelessly, diving into lessons with her students. Their laughter brought her solace amid the chaos brewing outside the classroom. During lunch, she played along with a lively game of tag, a smile painted on her face, but her heart remained heavy. Each laugh echoed the very hope she was trying to kindle in the community. Yet, there were still parents who felt threatened, and still that woman from the meeting whispering doubt in her mind. Later that afternoon, Anna found her way to the teacher's lounge to refill her coffee. As she stirred the creamy swirl, she overheard two teachers talking about the meeting. I just don't understand why we should let someone else dictate what's best for us, one said wistfully. Ethan's money won't change the fact that some families are struggling just to get by, the other added softly. The conversations hung in the air, thick and awkward like the clouds outside. "You're right," Anna interjected. "But what if this isn't just about that? What if it's more? What if Ethan's presence is a signal that change is possible?" The teachers glanced at her, uncertainty flickering in their eyes. "It's not that simple, Anna. People are desperate, they see threats around every corner," one finally replied. She nodded, taking it all in. Perhaps that was the heart of the mountain she needed to climb. As the school day ended, Anna sat in her classroom, watching the sun begin to dip beneath the horizon. The shadows lengthened, stretching across her desk, mirroring the emotions that crowded her heart. Suddenly, a sound broke her reverie, a soft knock on the door. It creaked open slowly, revealing the very woman she'd seen at the meeting, her expression still hardened, but this time, there was something else, a flicker of vulnerability. "Can we talk?" she asked quietly, her voice almost a whisper. Anna's heart raced. Could this be the opening she needed? "Of course," she said gently, motioning for the woman to sit. As they talked, Anna felt layers of doubt beginning to peel away. The woman shared her concerns about the school's future, about her own children. "I just don't want to see them hurt," she admitted, her eyes narrowing as if the very admission threatened her strength. Anna listened intently, her resolve strengthening with each shared truth. She realized that these conversations were vital, the deeper fears needed to surface for healing to begin. But then, as if sensing their alliance forming, the door swung open with a force that sent a chill down Anna's spine. Ethan stood there, breathless, his expression urgent. "Anna, you need to see this." The air electric with tension, Anna's heart pounded in her chest. What did he discover? Would it change everything they had fought for in that moment, or worsen their struggle? The weight of uncertainty loomed, growing heavier, and the stakes felt impossibly high. Anna had to brace herself, the journey was far from over. Ethan's eyes were wide, a storm of emotions swirling within them. "It's about the community project," he said, stepping into the room, urgency spilling from his lips like an overflowing dam. The woman's gaze snapped to him, and Anna felt the air grow thick, almost palpable with tension. "What do you mean?" Anna asked, her voice steady despite the chaos within her. The woman shifted in her seat, her earlier vulnerability morphing into guardedness. Ethan took a breath, the kind that seemed to draw in every worry and free it from his chest. "I found something in the budget reports. There are discrepancies, really big ones. Suddenly, everything in the proposal doesn't add up." Heart racing, Anna's mind raced through the implications. Questions zoomed through her thoughts, unwelcome but insistent. What were they hiding? Could this revelation sweep away the fragile unity she just began to build? "Ethan, are you sure?" He nodded, determination etched across his face. "I wouldn't be here if I wasn't. We need to address this, but it could also tear us apart." The woman shifted again, her body language radiating discomfort. "This doesn't have anything to do with the meeting last night, does it?" "What do you mean?" Anna asked, confused. "Some people will do anything to keep a grip on their power, even lie to the community." Ethan glanced at Anna, concern flashing across his features. "Maybe we should bring this to a larger discussion. We need to find out who's behind this. But what if it's one of those people who've been pushing against the project?" Anna spoke, her voice barely more than a whisper. Anxiety fluttered in her stomach. How could they fight against something that was so deeply rooted? The woman fiddled with her hands, her fierce facade cracking. What if it is? What if this is just another attempt to silence voices like ours? Anna felt her heart twist painfully. The community had just begun to trust her, to see her as an ally, and here it was an opportunity to expose the truth or another roadblock to face. "We have to act, not just for ourselves, but for those kids," she urged, her voice firm. Just as she thought she had a foothold, the ground was beginning to slip beneath her. Ethan nodded, and an unmistakable camaraderie flickered back between them. But as Anna looked towards the woman, she couldn't ignore the fear painted across her face. And what about your family? Anna asked quietly. What if this puts them in danger? My family has always been second in the eye of the storm, the woman replied, her tone grave. And this may just be another storm I have to weather. Anna's heart pounded with a mix of empathy, solidarity, and a growing sense of purpose. Whatever happens, we need to stand together. Just then, the heavy sound of the school bell echoed through the hallways, breaking their contemplative circle. Anna felt the urgency settle in. Decisions needed to be made, and soon, with that lingering question hanging in the air, who could they trust? Anna gathered her resolve and led the way out into the hallway, Ethan and the woman following close behind. As they moved, the enormity of the task ahead weighed down on them, but the small flicker of hope ignited by their shared determination pushed them forward into the unknown. Together, they would face the storm. But would the truth strengthen their bond, or would it end in chaos? As they stepped into the hall, a low murmur rose around them, the sound of students discussing their plans for the day. But the buzz felt distant to Anna, her mind was racing. She glanced back at Ethan and the woman, their expressions a mix of resolution and fear. The stakes felt impossibly high. Where do we even start? Ethan asked, running a hand through his hair. The gesture showed his growing anxiety, the uncertainty making his normally calm demeanor fray at the edges. Anna took a deep breath. We need to dig deeper into those budget reports first. Maybe there are hints about who's behind the discrepancies. The thought brought a sense of urgency. She couldn't shake the feeling that time was slipping away while they hesitated. The woman, who had yet to share her name, caught Anna's gaze. My family is quite involved in the project. If they're connected to the wrong people, she trailed off, the unspoken fear hanging heavy between them. Then we need to protect them, Ethan interjected, his voice steadying. We can't let whoever is manipulating the budget harm anyone. The way his eyes locked onto Anna filled her with an unexpected warmth. They were in this together, each taking a step forward despite the looming threat. Without deliberation, Anna spoke up again. Let us meet in the library after school. We can spread out and gather all the information we can. The library had always felt like a safe haven amidst chaos, lined with books that carried countless stories of struggle and triumph. Sounds like a plan, Ethan nodded, drawing a determined expression across his face. Yeah, I'll try to see what I can find in the community records, the woman said, a spark of resilience igniting in her eyes. Naming her weakness was tough, but she seemed ready to stand tall against it. As the bell rang again, signaling the start of the school day, they each took a moment to steal a glance at the unfolding scene outside, students gathering in groups, laughter bubbling through the air, but the normalcy felt surreal. The world around them was vibrant while they stood at the edge of an impending storm. Let us stick together today. No matter what, we need to watch each other's backs, Anna insisted, her heart heavy but resolute. Memories of shared laughter and joyful moments within this community flickered in her mind. It wouldn't be easy, but she wouldn't let fear snuff out that light. With determination threading through their hearts, they split off to their respective classes, but the doubt lingered. Each looked for a way to uncover the truth, an unseen enemy lurking just beneath the surface. The day stretched ahead, fraught with tests of trust and loyalty. As Anna sat in her first class, the weight of their looming mission settled deeper in her chest. Questions filled her thoughts. Was the truth worth risking everything they'd built? What if their fight led to more pain than progress? The lunch bell rang, a reprieve from endless lectures, but Anna knew it wouldn't be long before reality came crashing back. She made her way to the cafeteria, heart racing. Would the others find anything useful to help their cause? Or would the shadows of betrayal be even more ancient than they anticipated? Amid all these considerations, Anna sensed that the pieces were beginning to come together. Walking through the bustling hall, she spotted a familiar face in the crowd, the last person she expected to see. She hesitated, heart sinking. Could this person be the key to unlocking the truths buried within the community? Or would they add to the chaos spiraling around her? Before she could make up her mind, the figure disappeared into the throng, leaving Anna to wonder what hidden motives lay waiting just beneath the surface. Anna's heart raced as she caught sight of the familiar face just moments before it vanished. The cafeteria buzzed with chatter, the smell of pizza filling the air, yet all she could focus on was the knot tightening in her stomach. If this person was truly the key, would they willingly share what they knew? Or would they shut the door on Anna and her friends just when they needed the answers most? She forced herself to push through the flowing mass of students, searching for a glimpse of that face again, but it was gone. Sighing, she took a seat at the table where Ethan and the woman who she now learned was called Grace were already immersed in an earnest conversation. "Hey, what did I miss?" Anna greeted, slipping her bag off her shoulder. She could see the furrow in Ethan's brow, a telltale sign that his mind was still racing with possibilities. "Grace found something interesting in the budget reports," he said, lowering his voice. "There's a pattern in the funding that doesn't quite add up." "What do you mean?" Anna leaned in closer, her curiosity piqued. Grace pulled out her notebook, flipping through pages filled with her neat handwriting, tinged with urgency. "There's a line item that repeats itself, a grant that's supposedly funneled to community projects but goes unaccounted for. I think it could lead us to whoever is skimming money from the budget." Anna's pulse quickened. "If we can figure out who set that up, maybe we can confront them. But what if they find out we're looking?" A flicker of doubt shone in Grace's eyes. "That's why we have to be careful. I don't want my family involved in any way. They don't deserve to be caught in something dangerous." "I get it," Anna replied softly, feeling the weight of their situation settle heavily over their heads. "But we can't back down now. They need our help." Ethan nodded in agreement, his expression more resolute than before. "Let us keep gathering information. Once we have a clearer picture, we can decide the next steps. Together." As they plotted their next moves, Anna couldn't shake the feeling that they were stepping into a deeper darkness. The murmurs of laughter and chatter around them felt like a wide gap from their pressing reality, a world torn between everyday struggles and the layers of deceit hiding within it. Halfway through their meal, Anna suddenly found herself distracted again, glancing toward the entrance of the cafeteria. The door opened, and that familiar figure stepped through once more. This time, she noticed something different about them. A hesitant shuffle, a shirt that seemed too big, a shadow cast across their features. Behind them trailed someone who appeared tense, every bit of their body language screaming caution. "Is that Grace?" whispered, following Anna's gaze. "Should we?" But before Anna could respond, that figure caught sight of them, eyes widening in surprise. The noise of the cafeteria faded into a murmur, the reality of what they just happened upon sinking in. In that moment, Anna felt every heartbeat thrum louder in her chest. "Stay here," she urged, almost instinctively. She could feel the air crackle with electricity, anticipation thick with unspoken words. This could change everything. The figure hesitated, their gaze darting between Anna and the door, where escape looked more tempting than ever. Yet something tethered them to the spot. Instead of shying away, they took a deep breath and started walking toward their table. "What do you want?" Anna's voice came out firmer than she expected. "Please, I have to tell you something," the figure said, urgency twisting their features. "It's about the funding. You don't know who you're dealing with, and it's worse than you imagine." Hope flickered alongside dread in Anna's chest. The truth was closer than ever, but was she ready for what it might unveil? Anna's heart thudded painfully against her ribs as the figure approached. Their eyes, wide and glistening, spoke of fear and desperation. The cafeteria noise felt like a distant storm, the chaos fading away, leaving just her and this stranger in the eye of it all. "Are you okay?" Grace asked, a flicker of concern replacing her initial shock. The figure took a seat, visibly trembling. "You wouldn't believe me if I told you, but you have to know." They ran a hand through their unkempt hair, the weight of their secret overwhelming them. "My name is Alex. I used to work with the board that approves the funding. I know things that could put us all in danger." "What kind of dangers?" Ethan pressed, leaning forward, his eyes narrowing with intensity. "It's not just numbers on a page," Alex whispered, glancing around as if expecting something to leap out. This goes way beyond what you think. There's a whole network. People are getting rich while schools are failing. Anna swallowed hard. What do you mean? Who is involved? No one is safe. Alex shook their head. Not the students, not the teachers, not even me. If they find out I'm talking to you. Their voice trailed off, but the fear etched in their expression spoke volumes. Look, we can protect you, Anna said, her heart racing. We just need more information. We can take it to the authorities. We can make it right. You're not alone in this. A flicker of doubt crossed Alex's face. You don't understand the extent of this. People with power have ways of silencing those who know too much. Anna felt a chill seep into her bones. Memories flashed in her mind, the missed opportunities, the families torn apart by things they didn't know. Her voice softened. Then help us help you. We can fight back together. After a tense silence, Alex finally nodded, albeit reluctantly, and opened their notebook, revealing pages upon pages of scribbled numbers and names. It's all connected, they said softly. Funding is diverted to offshore accounts. It's laundering, pure and simple. You need to see this. Anna leaned in, trembling with a mixture of fear and exhilaration. Here was the moment they'd been waiting for, the first pieces of a puzzle that could change everything. She felt a spark of hope as they began to pore over the notes. Suddenly, a loud crash echoed through the cafeteria. A group of students bumped into a table, their laughter shattering the tense bubble they had created. It pulled Anna momentarily away from Alex's revelations, but instinctively, she refocused. It felt urgent to keep the energy alive, to not let this tender moment slip away. Why are you telling us this now? Ethan asked, still scrutinizing Alex's notes. Because I can't be part of this anymore. I've lived in the shadows long enough. Alex's voice trembled with emotion. If you want to expose them, you need to act fast. They won't allow anyone to get in their way. Anna felt a surge of determination. They were on the brink of uncovering something massive, something that could alter the entire course of their community. But the thought of potential repercussions, the risks that hovered just above their heads, made the gravity of their situation heavier. Can we trust you? Grace asked, her voice solemn. Alex's eyes flared with intensity. You must. There's no turning back. Once you see this through, there's no hiding. Anna glanced at her friends, searching their expressions for reassurance. This was just the beginning, a dangerous and thrilling dance was unfolding before them. The call for action was undeniable, igniting a flame in her chest. What would they uncover together? But as hope mingled with trepidation, an unsettling thought sparked within her. What if the truth revealed something darker about their own mission? As their eyes remained locked on Alex, the cafeteria buzz faded to a whisper, and the reality of their impending choice loomed larger than ever. What if the fight they were about to wage would cost them more than they were willing to lose? Anna's thoughts raced as she stared at the scattered notes on the table. Each word Alex wrote felt heavier than the last, like stones being added to a sinking ship. Okay, let us figure this out, she said, trying to sound more assured than she felt. Ethan leaned closer, his fingers dancing over the hastily jotted names and figures. If all of this is real, we can't just sit on it. We need a plan. Alex looked at them, fear evident in their eyes. And I need a way out. If they find out I'm talking, I won't just be silenced. They'll make sure I disappear. The statement hung in the air, a grim reminder of just how serious this was. Grace reached out and squeezed Alex's hand. Then we'll help you. You just have to trust us to do this right. There was determination in her voice, an unwavering belief that they could fight back against this unseen enemy. Anna was on board, but the weight of what was at stake was suffocating. We need to verify everything, she said. These names, this information. It needs to be solid before we go to anyone outside of this table. Right, Ethan chimed in. We can cross-check with other sources. And maybe even record our conversations with you, Alex, just so we have a paper trail." "Yeah, a paper trail," Alex echoed, but their voice faltered. "But you do understand the risk. It's not just about research or planning meetings. This is a living, breathing monster, and if you poke it, it will react." Anna's heart sank. "I know. But we can't just stand by while our teachers struggle and the kids suffer. Those people, they have to be stopped." The cafeteria started to fill with older students, their laughter and chatter creeping back into Anna's awareness. As the emotional tide started to swell, she could feel the temperature rising in the room. She couldn't lose focus now. "Can we meet somewhere safer?" Alex's request broke through the noise. "Somewhere they can't tap into our conversations." "Let us go to the library," Grace suggested, her voice firm. "It's usually quiet there, plus we can access the computers." "Nice idea," Ethan agreed. "And we can use the resources to dig deeper into what we're up against." As the group hurried to gather their belongings, a determined fire burned in Anna's chest. This was going to be tough. It could even fracture their friendship. She felt torn between hope and fear. But the thought of giving up, the thought of what they could lose if they did nothing, was unbearable. Once they were outside, Anna turned to Alex. "You really think we can make a difference?" A flicker of something hope, perhaps, crossed Alex's face. "I wish I could believe that. But if we don't try, then we're already lost." They entered the library, and it felt like entering a sanctuary. Rows of books surrounded them, knowledge that could help balance the scales. Anna noticed an older woman looking at them from the desk, a hint of curiosity in her gaze. "Why all need to keep it down," she said gently, but there was a kind smile that eased Anna's tension. "Sorry." Anna smiled back and quickly shifted gears with Alex and her friends. "Let us get to work." They found a secluded table and opened the notebooks. Anna felt the intensity in the air as layers of secrecy began to peel away. Here, in this quiet space, they were about to unearth truths that could shake their entire world. As Alex started explaining the connections behind the funding, voices of doubt crept in Anna's mind. Was their anger justified? Or was there a part of this that they didn't understand yet? At that moment, Anna noticed something peculiar about the notes. Scrawled in the corner was a name that sent shivers down her spine, a name from her past, a name she hadn't thought of in years. Her heart raced as she whispered, "Wait, do you know who this is?" Alex paused, their expression suddenly grave. "You know them?" Anna's breath caught. This was bigger than they had imagined, and the implications were terrifying. What had she just stumbled into? Anna's mind swirled as the name echoed in her head, her heart pounding like a drum. It couldn't be. How could this connection surface at a time like this? The world outside the library felt distant, muted against the intensity in that cramped, dimly lit corner. "Who is it?" Grace pressed, her eyebrows furrowing as she leaned in closer, curiosity painted across her face. The tension was palpable, every flicker of movement seemed magnified, as if the walls were listening. Anna took a deep breath. I knew someone named Jason Harper. He was my teacher in middle school." But after everything that happened, her voice trailed off, the weight of memories crashing down on her. "What do you mean after everything?" Ethan asked, trying to pull her back into the moment. "He vanished unexpectedly. No explanation. Just one day he was there, then gone. Rumors flew around the school, but no one ever knew the truth." Anna shifted uncomfortably in her seat, her fingers clenching the edge of the table. Alex swallowed hard, looking even more concerned than before. "You think he is tied to any of this? To the game that's being played over our heads?" "I don't know," Anna admitted, panic creeping into her voice. "But if he is involved, it could get dangerous." "Dangerous? We've already been teetering on the edge of that," Grace asserted, her tone unwavering. "But we need to explore all angles. If he has answers, we can't just ignore it." The thought of reaching out to someone from her past sent chills down Anna's spine. What if he was connected to the darkness they were uncovering? What if he didn't want to be found? Still, she felt the pull of responsibility. I think I should try to contact him, she finally said, the resolve sneaking into her voice. If he knows something, we need that information. For Alex and everyone else. He might not even want to talk, Ethan pointed out, cautioning her. You said it yourself, he vanished. What if he is hiding for a reason? Or what if he is just waiting for someone to ask? Grace countered. It sounds like he could be a key player in this mess. They fell silent again, the weight of the decision heavy in the air. Anna glanced from one friend to the next, reading their expressions. They were scared, just as she was. But there was a quiet understanding that enveloped them, a silent agreement to face whatever came next together. I'll do it, Anna finally decided, her voice resolute. I'll find him. As she turned her attention back to the jumbled notes, a wave of determination washed over her. She could feel the intensity of their situation building. This was more than just a school project or a cause. This was personal now. Okay, Alex said, jotting down a date on their page. Let's set a timeline for your first contact. And in the meantime, we can keep digging to strengthen the information we have. With every word spoken, Anna felt a flicker of hope ignite. The conversation flowed, plans blossoming as they leaned into the urgency of their mission. One piece of a puzzle could lead to the next, and though the stakes were high, they couldn't turn back. But just as the conversation settled into a rhythm, Anna's phone buzzed on the table, jolting everyone's attention. She picked it up and felt her heart race again as she read the incoming message from an unknown number. I know what you're looking for. Meet me tonight at 9. Bring your friends. The group exchanged glances, a mix of adrenaline and fear coursing through them. Who was this? Were they friend or foe? Anna's gut twisted as the clock started ticking. Tonight could either offer answers or plunge them deeper into danger, but one question hung heavy in the air, refusing to be ignored. Would they be prepared for whatever awaited them in the shadows? Night fell over the small town, darkness cloaking everything in shadows. The streets felt lonely and still, reflecting the weight of uncertainty hanging heavy in Anna's heart. She stood in front of the school, eyes scanning the dimly lit area, the flickering streetlights casting eerie shapes on the pavement. Ethan and Grace stood by her side, each lost in their own whirlpool of thoughts. This feels off, Ethan said quietly, breaking the silence. His brow was furrowed, worry etched on his face. I know, Anna replied, her pulse racing in sync with the ticking clock on her phone. They had agreed to meet the mysterious messenger at 9, and the seconds felt like hours. But we need to hear what they know. If Jason is tied to this, we can't afford not to. I just hope we're not walking into a trap, Grace added, shivering despite the warm air. The fear in her voice mirrored the tumult in Anna's gut. Whatever happens, we stick together, Anna said, her voice steely. This was more than just a mission, it was about protecting their community and the kids who depended on them. As the clock struck 9, a figure emerged from the shadows, a hood pulled low over their face. Anna's heartbeat quickened. Was this their contact? Or someone dangerous? Are you Anna? The figure asked, voice low and gravelly. Yeah. And you're? Anna hesitated, scanning the figure for any sign of threat. Just listen, the figure replied, stepping closer. What I'm about to tell you, you need to take seriously. There are powerful people involved, people who will stop at nothing to keep their secrets buried. Tell us everything you know, Ethan urged, ready to take notes. The figure took a deep breath, seemingly steeling themselves. The funding isn't just mismanaged. It's a scheme. Money is being funneled from various projects, schools, community funds into accounts controlled by the board. They've built a fortress around this operation, and they will silence anyone who tries to expose them. Anna felt her blood run cold. How do you know all this? I used to work for the board. I saw the transactions. Then I started asking too many questions. The last thing I remember was a warning. They told me to stop digging. Next thing, one of my colleagues disappeared. A heavy silence filled the air. Anna's heart raced. This was getting more dangerous than she could have anticipated. "What do you want from us?" she asked slowly. "The truth needs to get out," the figure said urgently. "But you need allies in this. There are parents, teachers who support your cause. You must gather them. You have to be loud and take this to a meeting where the community can listen. I'm here to help you spread the word." "And how do we know we can trust you?" Grace shot back, the tension thick in the air. "Because I'm risking everything just being here," the figure stated, raising their voice with a flare of emotion. "And because I want to stop this just as much as you do." Anna felt the weight of the moment press against her. This was the pivotal point. They had a chance to fight back, but it wouldn't come without sacrifices. Her resolve ignited. "Okay, then let us do it," she said firmly. "We'll gather support, raise awareness, and prepare for a meeting." Ethan nodded. "But we need to work cautiously. We can't let them know what we're doing too soon." Suddenly, the figure shifted uneasily, glancing over their shoulder. "You need to move quickly. They'll find out. Trust me, it's only a matter of time." Anna's stomach dropped at the threat of urgency. "We will, we promise. Just keep your head down, and stay safe." As the figure nodded and turned to retreat into the shadows, Anna felt a surge of responsibility ripple through her. They could do this. She turned to Ethan and Grace, each of their faces twisted with determination. "Let us meet tomorrow at the library, gather more details, and start preparing for the community meeting," Anna instructed with fresh fire. "Agreed," Ethan said, his eyes sparkling with renewed hope. "Together, we're stronger." The sun peeked over the horizon, casting shades of orange and pink across the sky. With the dawn came a sense of clarity. Anna knew they were in a fight for their community's future, a future that held so much promise. In the days ahead, fears would surface. Doubts would creep in. Yet, as they stood at the brink of something big, Anna felt a quiet strength fill the air. Together, supporting one another with hopes pinned high, they would rise against the storm. As Anna locked eyes with her friends, she whispered the words she needed most to believe: "We're going to change everything." And as laughter bubbled back into the air around them, their journey together felt like an unstoppable force, a community rising from ashes of fear into warmth and resilience, united for hope. So, here's where it gets real. You need to subscribe now and follow along for more incredible transformations like this one. This is the moment to show your support. And hit that like button now, it literally fuels our growth. Comment below your thoughts and feelings about this gripping journey we just witnessed. And please, share this video instantly with at least 5 friends who need a dose of inspiration and strength. Don't wait not even one more second, let us spread the hope.